Hey everybody, how are we doing today? We're having a look at another sale today. These things keep coming up on the PlayStation Store. Today we're looking at the July savings sale on the PlayStation Store. This one is up to 70% off selected titles and games. This video specifically is for the US version of the sale, but if you're after the European version of the sale, have a look in the description down below and there'll be a link to the European version of this video. So there'll be two videos for each of different region stores. But let's get into the US sale. When you say you feel low and good. Alrighty guys, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the July savings PlayStation Store sale for the US PlayStation Store. I've also got a video for the EU version of it as well, so check that out in the description down below if you're from the EU. But this video is specifically going to be for the US. If this is the first video of mine that you've come across, then please consider subscribing to the channel down below. I make videos like this all the time, trophy related content, PlayStation related content, and everything else in between. So I'd encourage you guys to subscribe so you don't miss out on anything else that I post. I've posted a couple of these sale videos in the last couple of weeks, and honestly, they haven't performed super well on the channel, but you guys keep asking for them. So I'm going to keep making them. As long as you keep asking for the content, I'm going to keep making it, but I need to see people watching it. If you guys want these kind of sale videos, then you're going to have to watch them. Otherwise, what's the point of making them? The reason being is because they have a really limited lifespan. So realistically, when I make one of these videos, it's only going to last for, 2 or 3 weeks while the sale's running, and then the video is dead completely, and it doesn't really benefit the channel in terms of growth, in terms of helping people find the channel, discoverability, things like that. So, I really want to make sure that we're maximizing the kind of content that I'm making is most useful for the most amount of people for the longest time possible, rather than having a short shelf life. So I'm going to keep that in mind going forward with these videos, depending on how these ones perform. So that's just a bit of a 2 cent. Alright, this is the sale, and by the way, this is an awesome sale. There's so much good content in this sale that I didn't even know where to begin, but you've got Black Ops 3 here, plus the Zombie Chronicles for $19 US, which is an awesome deal. Let's look at the awesome games as well as the easy trophies. Let's go through them both. I'm going to format this slightly differently, so there should just be some information popping up above me if I've done it the way I think I'm going to do it, with the trophy details. But yeah, so Black Ops 3, awesome game. Bloodborne, if you don't already own Bloodborne, $17.49. It's definitely worth your time. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot came out this year. It's one of the few games that's decent that's come out this year. I know it didn't perform super well. I actually haven't played it, so I'm not sure if it's really great, but I do love Dragon Ball, so I should probably check that out. No Man's Sky, it's pretty cheap, and Ghost Recon is $15. I know it's not the good Ghost Recon game, but it's still awesome. These are all great. There's so many good things. Neo, the Complete Edition, for $25. The Last Jedi Fallen Order for $38. They're great deals. Dark Souls 3, which is an awesome game as well. And Resident Evil 7, which was probably my favorite game that came out in 2017. So, and that's $10. $10. Come on. DMC 5, $25. These are great. These are great. Alright, our first easy platinum though, before I keep getting too distracted, is Far Cry 3 Classic Edition. So this is $2.99. Yeah, $2.99. Yeah. That's actually insane. I didn't realize it was that cheap. Guys, this is 90% off. Definitely worth it. 120% worth it for that. This is a remaster of the same game that came out on the PS3. It's an easy platinum. It's like a 3 out of 10 difficulty. No online trophies, all offline, story related and single player related trophies. And the game's awesome. It's an open world action game, and it really put Far Cry back on the map, essentially. There's a really awesome guide by PowerPYX on PlayStationTrophies.org as well. He says the game is a 3 out of 10 and about 25 hours worth of gameplay to get the platinum in this game. And I don't have the platinum on this on PS4, and I am going to buy this and platinum it. It's $2.99. $2.99! Awesome. That's an awesome game. Next we have Far Cry 4, which is also just insanely cheap. 70% off. $5.99 for Far Cry 4. In terms of difficulty and everything, it's about the same. It's a 3 out of 10. It's going to take you around 25 hours to platinum. The difference here is that there are a few online trophies. I think there's about 4 or 5 online trophies that you need to complete in this one to get the platinum. So that's worth keeping in mind as well. but they're not hard. They'll take you about an hour of online to get it. All right, this is the Frozen Wilds. That's a really good deal as well. Assassin's Creed 3, a great deal. I think the Sinking City is a pretty easy platinum. Let's have a look at that one next. So this is I don't even know how to describe this. It's kind of like those Sherlock Holmes games, which we're going to talk about soon as well. It's a third-person detective kind of game. It reminded me a little bit of the Murdered Soul Suspect game that came out a few years ago by Square Enix. So this one here is a 3 out of 10 as well. It's going to take you around 20 hours to platinum. Again, PowerPYX has a fantastic guide on his website. I want to encourage you guys to go and check that out if you're looking for a guide for this game. Another pretty easy plat. Like, these aren't going to be like 5-minute platinums, but they're all pretty decent plats as well. Like, these are really solid games to play, so it's kind of worth mentioning. Assassin's Creed Origins Gold Edition for 20 bucks. Like, you can't really go wrong with that. Hours of gameplay there. Let's have a look at Knack 2. I'm pretty sure Knack 2 is pretty easy. $5 for Knack 2. Knack's weird, right? Like, it wasn't the best game, but it's like a competent enough little platformer. I actually worked on Knack when I was working at Sony. The game is about a 5 or a 6 out of 10, I would say. It's rated a 5 out of 10 here on PlayStationTrophies.org, but I'm gonna say it's higher than that. I reckon it's actually more like a 6. The game is challenging. It's quite tough, and the levels are really long as well. They've said here it's going to take you around 20 hours, but my difficulty estimate is higher, and I'm pretty good at action platformers as well, and I'm saying it's a bit higher. It's definitely higher. There's no online trophies or anything like that. It's just a play through the game, collect everything type game. Another awesome platformy action game is MediEvil. That's $15 on the PlayStation Store, so it's half. It came out at the end of last year, but obviously it's a game from the PS1, so it has a lot of those PS1 isms to it. It's a third-person mascot hack and slash, I guess, adventure game type thing. No online trophies or anything like that. You know, probably a 3 or a 4 out of 10 in terms of difficulty. Probably going to take you around 15 hours or so, according to PlayStationTrophies.org. There's just a lot of miscellaneous stuff by the looks of it. It doesn't look like there's anything inherently hard. I actually thought you had to play the game through on hard mode. It's really funny. So I played this last year, and I actually really enjoyed it. I never finished it. I started it, and never got through the rest of the game, but it was a solid game. I played this on PS1 when I was a little kid, and I was so scared of it back when I was a kid that I just refused to play it. So I had this prejudice towards this game all this time, where it's actually like it's a pretty competent platformer, or action mascot game, I should say. So like, we've got Crash and CTR here. They're $37. Like, I've got a soft spot for Crash. I love him, but his games are so hard. Like, these games are easily like 7 or 8 out of 10s for all of them in terms of difficulty. They're super, super hard. So, but if you're after Crash, like, far out, that's a good deal. The Detroit or Quantic collection with these 3 games here in it. How am I going to do this? Let's have a look at them. They so it includes all 3 of these games. If you don't know what Quantic is, they do basically like visual. It's not visual novels. It's kind of like a mixture of adventure games and visual storytelling games. They're interactive dramas. And these games are great. They just are time consuming. They'll take a long time to get through. They should all be pretty easy. Like, I would say, let's have a look. I'll pull them up. So Beyond Two Souls on PlayStationTrophies.org is a 2.5 out of 10. So let's say 3 out of 10. And it's going to take you between 20 and 35 hours. So let's split the difference there and say 30 hours. I think that's honestly realistic as well. The thing that's challenging in it is that you have to get so many different endings, and there's so many branching narratives that you have to keep replaying content, choosing different outcomes to affect your story. It's all about choice and consequence, essentially. All 3 of them are. Detroit is the most modern one, I suppose, the newest one out of these 3. It's probably the longest as well. This one here, they're estimating about a 2 out of 10 difficulty, which I'd say is about accurate, and 25 hours to platinum. And yeah, I'd probably say that's about fair as well. Maybe close to 30. It's probably the best out of the 3. I think Heavy Rain and Detroit are my 2 favorites, and then Beyond is the weaker out of the 3 of them. Heavy Rain's actually the hardest one. It says here it's about a 4 out of 10, and it's going to take you 20 hours. I think it's because there's a lot of challenge-based trophies. Like, there is one specific trophy for driving a car on the wrong side of the road perfectly. It's really, like, there's a lot of context around it. There's not really much time to get into it now, but it is challenging. Like, I will give it that. Okay, that's what it's, well, for $15, it's well worth your time for those 3 games. We've got these Mega Man games. Like, actually, I don't think that has a platinum, but Mega Man's really like divisive as well in terms of how hard it is for people. Ni no Kuni is a great game, but it's very time-consuming platinum. Jak and Daxter. What? Are we kidding? So $7.49 for Jak and Daxter. $7.50. This is the original Jak and Daxter PS2 port, so it's not an HD remake, it's just a PS2 port. This, I think, is my favorite of all 3 of them. This one's like a really traditional platformer. It follows on a lot from Crash, I suppose, in that sense, that it's just like a very, very traditional, colorful, open world platformer. Brawler, I guess, as well, a little bit. PS3, blah, blah, blah. PlayStation trophies are saying it's a 2 out of 10, and it's going to take you about 10 to 15 hours. And yeah, I'd say that's about right. 10 to 15 hours probably sounds about right. I've platinumed this game, I guess, 3 times. I think PS3, Vita, and PS4. It's great. It's just such a fun little game. And if you played it when you were a kid, obviously it brings back a ton of good memories. I've got Jak 2 on here as well, and Jak 3. So let's look at those next. Jak 2, it's the same price. Jak 2 is a lot harder, if I remember correctly. It's like, it's going to take you like, it's going to take you like 30 hours, I think. I'm just trying to pull up a guide. Oh yeah, okay. PlayStation trophies, it says it's 7 out of 10, and it's going to take you about 30 hours without using any glitches or anything like that. But I believe there is actually a cheat you can use. There's like a debug menu or something in this game, and you can get the platinum in like 5 minutes. So potentially like a 0 out of 10 if you use that. Otherwise, legitimately, probably more like a 7 out of 10. It's going to be quite a challenging platinum. And then Jak 3 is the other one. Now, Jak 3 also has the same sort of debug cheat thing in there too. So that's worth mentioning. It's got the same thing in terms of being able to unlock the platinum in a couple of hours if you use the debug menu. But if you do it legitimately, it says here it's around 12 hours to complete. And they don't have a difficulty rating for it. But I've done this one as well. I'd probably say it's like a 4 or 5 out of 10 in terms of difficulty to platinum. That's a personal rating from me, so yeah, I think that's about right for that one. Alright, back here. Anthem. Next page. Mega Man 11. That's a little bit harder. Resident Evil's a little bit harder as well. I mean, you've got the Sherlock Holmes. Let's look at that. That's a really solid platinum, and it's a decent game as well. Made by the same people who made The Sinking City, which is the game we talked about earlier on in this video. And that is a detective game, essentially. But it's cool. It works. It's easy as well. PlayStation Trophies is actually saying it's a 1 out of 10. And it's going to take you 10 to 15 hours. I guess if you use a guide, it's a 1 out of 10. Like with telling you exactly what to do and how to complete all the different puzzles, I suppose. Like puzzles and clues that are featured throughout the game. Otherwise, it's probably higher. It's probably like a 2 out of 10 or a 3 out of 10 without a guide. But yeah, that's another easy one. That's 10 hours. I think that's our shortest one so far, actually. Spyro's here with Crash Team Racing. Awesome bundle of games. You get all 3 Spyro games plus CTR, which is awesome. It's so cool. Let's have a look at, I don't know, maybe let's look at Spyro 2, because we've gone really long on this video. But Spyro 2 on PlayStationTrophies.org is a 3 out of 10, and it's going to take you about 8 to 10 hours to platinum. So that's a bit of an idea. CTR is like an 8 out of 10. It's a lot harder, so I won't mention that. But if you're going for the Spyro games, they're all about the same difficulty level. Watch Dogs 2 is on here. It's $11.99. Good game. Rugby 20. Do we have a guide for that? Is there anything on that yet, or is it still like nothing? I'm pretty sure there wasn't last time we looked. Yeah, still no guide for it, so I don't know what the story is with that one. This video has gone way longer than I thought it would. Alright, Bee Simulator. That's $17.99, which is probably a little bit overpriced for that game. However, it is a super easy platinum as well. This is like a serious version of Goat Simulator. Like, they're trying to actually create a decent Bee Simulator game. I can't find a platinum guide or roadmap for this one. There's nothing online that I could find. But I think from memory, it's like 12 or so hours to platinum this one. Probably like a 3 or 4 out of 10 in terms of difficulty. I can't remember there being anything super hard, but there was like challenges you have to complete when you play through it as well. So yeah, it's something worth pointing out. Do we have anything else on here? Nothing really on this page apart from Jak X. Let's have a look at that. This is one I haven't played. I didn't replay this on the PS4. I played it on the PS2 a little bit when it came out, but that was a long time ago now. On PlayStationTrophies.org, we're thinking it's a 4 out of 10 and 14 or so hours plus. So let's say like 20 hours. Jak X is like a racing spin-off game. It's like a combat racing game more than anything. Version of Jak and Daxter. It came out after Jak 3 and it kind of continues the story a little bit, but in a completely different way. Got a Watch Dogs bundle there for $25, which is an awesome deal as well. And then this is the last page, I think. Shout out if there is something I've missed, by the way, guys. I know you guys always do. You add stuff in the comment section down below. It's helpful because it helps other people out if they are looking for easy things. But yeah, I don't see anything else easy in here. Oh wow, it's still going. Okay. There's a lot of DLC now. We're getting into DLC territory. All of this looks like DLC. Yeah, and that's it. All right, that's the end. I'm going to end things because this video has gone on super long. But that is the sale for July savings. There's a lot of really easy platinums in here and really good games. If you're after some decent PS4 games, then I would highly encourage checking this sale out because there's a ton of really good stuff on there at the moment. So yeah, go ahead, check it out. Let me know if you guys pick up anything or if there's any easy plats that I missed. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.